All right, I'm ready. We're about to stir the pot right here.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
In case y'all didn't know yet, we got Hal in the house.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We are
Yep,
so
got the
excited.
seasoning.
Think I have it on deck. I got it. If somebody asks me that question later on in life, I don't know what I'm going to say because I don't know what got me into cooking. I don't know. I was just, when I was young, I was just big and hungry. I was in the pots and noodles trying to eat. My sister telling me to get out the kitchen.
To love cooking, you got to like to eat too.
Yeah, I guess so, you know.
Hand.
Yeah.
That's the step number one.
If you used one of my Cajun seasonings and my Creole, one of these and this in the pot, that's all you need. You don't need to add anything extra. They're all low sodium, no MSG, and you got all the flavor you need because this Creole Zydeco seasoning is full of flavors. It's got every spice that you pretty much need in a pot. Oregano, thyme, basil, plus all your red, your black, your salt.
You know, this whole thing in Louisiana, we're so proud. We take it a little bit too far. You know, they call it the narcissism of small differences. Like we make the big deal out of somebody that does things just a little bit different than us, and it's not even that big of a deal.
So you get a lot of people in your mentions commenting on the things that you put in your Cajun dishes? Because I hear in your videos a lot of times you say, I'm going to use this product, and I know y'all going to come for me for this.
You want me to show the product? I can show it to you. I can just go grab it real quick if you need me to show.
Go get it.
Go ahead. We talked about authenticity on this podcast plenty of times. KCP, all them little cookbooks you have behind you, that whole bookshelf full of cookbooks, we were looking through there for authentic recipes, and you should see some of the stuff from back in the 50s and 60s on how they were making things. Y'all would lose your mind, all of y'all high, proud people talking about
it's true.
Your way is the best way and nobody else. There you go.
Stir it up. Oh, wow.
And I just told the whole world this, and that's okay because it's in the making right now.
That you talking my language now.
He's licking his lips right now.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yes, I get it, man.
I told you, Hal, I'm hungry. I'm
hungry too,
I don't play. I don't play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stir the pot.
Do it.
Go for
Stir that thing.
You ever wonder where these names come from?
No.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Stirring the Pot podcast, a podcast all about controversial food subjects, historical aspects of food, and pretty much everything else food and cooking related. Let me start tonight by introducing my co-hosts. First up, we have Mr. Barbecue Brand, our resident pit master and a past guest on Food Network's Barbecue USA. Welcome, Barbecue Brand.
What it do? I am Barbecue. How y'all doing?
Next up, we have Mr. Brandon D., our food science nerd and an expert on Southern cuisine. Welcome, Brandon D.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody.
I am KCP, your host and cookie queen. We have a local celebrity in the studio tonight, and we are so excited. You can find her across all social media platforms, showcasing Louisiana's treasured cuisine and promoting her very own seasoning blends and products. Please welcome South Louisiana's own Hal, the Cajun Lady Accent. Welcome, Hal.
Yeah.
How y'all all doing?
Doing great.
Good.
Beautiful.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here tonight with y'all.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Happy to have you.
Absolutely.
We're about to pass us a good time. I'm just letting y'all know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me get my paddle to stir the pot. Hold on. Let me see. All right, I'm ready. We're about to stir the pot right here.
Yeah.
There we go. In case y'all didn't know yet, we got Hal in the house.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We are
got
so
the
excited.
seasoning.
Think I have it on deck. I got it.
Yeah.
I got a bunch right here too. If y'all want to see them at any point, I got some right here too.
All right.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Hal, we have to ask you the first question here. How did you come up with your name?
Okay, so my name is Hal, and that is because my brother could not say my real name. I didn't come up with the name. My brother gave me that name. So I'm 42 right now. I'm telling you all my age. I'm 42. I've been called Hal since I've been in the 8th grade, which is probably 13, 14, 15 years old.
That's about right. So what about your social media name?
So the rest of the name, my whole entire life, I got picked on, saying that, girl, you so Cajun, you so Cajun, your accent's so flat. Girl, why you talk like that? This is what I got told my whole entire childhood, y'all. So whenever I decided to do this, my name's Hal. I'm a lady. I'm a Cajun, and I got an accent. Hal, the Cajun
There you
lady
go.
accent. There
There
y'all
you
have
Love
it.
it.
go. Put it all together.
Put it all
There
together.
you go.
None of it's made up. It's all
Mhm.
me, you know. And you got a
Yeah.
childhood of getting picked out for the accent. You gonna make it stay. You gonna make the name follow
Oh,
you.
I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying?
I understand.
What?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think that's why you got such a following, because you could, it's authentic. It's not some personality you invented. It's just who you are.
I
And
did
that's
not
that's
invent it, and I didn't care who liked it or who didn't like it. I mean,
there
it's
you
me
go.
from day one. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, living here in Houston and having a very unique Cajun last name, people can't pronounce it. So here in Texas, I'm Casey Patton, right? So when I actually hear my name pronounced correctly, it kind of throws me. So when I go home, I'm like, whoa, I'm not used to hearing it the right way. Because people made fun of my last name growing up, like, oh, Casey Patton.
That's funny. I'm pretty sure you get people that's not from around here that think that you have a fake accent.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have a wide span of followers from all over, and yes, I have people that I'm not gonna name names, but the people in New Orleans will say this is not how we talk around here. First of all, I'm not
Right.
from New Orleans.
Right.
No.
Second of all, that might not be how you talk. Where you from? People don't even believe that I'm where I'm from. They think that I'm from by the Gulf of Mexico, way down south,
Mhm.
extremely down
Mhm.
south, and I'm not. The accent is from
Mhm.
there, though. Obviously, I don't know. I was one of the worst accents in my whole entire family. I don't know why I got it like that. My great grandparents were bad, you know. And then everybody says I took after them to begin with, from the cooking, the working, all the work ethics and the cook ethics are all from my great grandparents. And
Well,
the
that's a
accent.
compliment.
Your accent is not bad. It sounds like home. And if y'all
Yeah,
not from
that's it.
around here, you could tell people that's not from around here because
Right.
they never been around people with thick
Exactly.
accents. Some people
Oh,
accents
yeah.
around here is thick.
That's another thing,
Yeah.
girl. You got a
See?
tick
Oh, yeah.
accent.
When we come home from Christmas, we're usually home for like a week or so. When I come back, and everyone's like, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm like, oh, I picked it back up again. That
Yeah.
accent is strong.
You might get strong after this whole little podcast after talking to me.
Right? It might wear off. What was it when the first time I met you and Gary Mod Hardware? I said something. I forgot what it was, but I hadn't said that word in a really long time. What did I say? Maybe
Was
so.
it
I was like,
couillon?
whoa. It's all coming back to me.
Ooh, that big city Houston
Oh,
wash
yeah.
off fast, huh?
Yeah. Look, buddy, soon as you cross the Sabine
yeah.
River, well, it goes away.
Oh, man.
Let's start off with
Yeah.
who got you into cooking? How did you get into cooking at the start? I mean, what's your inspiration?
My great grandparents and my grandparents.
Nice.
When I was younger, I pretty much lived at my grandparents' house and would always ride my bike a little further down the road because, back then we could get on our bicycles and ride 5 miles down the road and it was A-okay. Nobody
Right.
would steal us, And if they did steal us, they was bringing me back, I promise you. But so I would always go to my great grandparents and help them in the garden, and got to pick the vegetables and the food to bring in the house. Peel, snap all the beans, cut all the okra. I mean, I can go on for days. Pull the potatoes, everything. I go on for days, but y'all get the point.
Cutting okra is no joke.
It's no
No.
joke. And then they would cook, and I was always on the countertop, on the side of the stove, standing on a little bench, something. I was always in the pot. I was nosy. I was always stirring the pot,
Yeah.
So-
And I think that's the same kind of story for all of us. I mean, we all, like, I especially watched my grandmothers and my mom cook, my grandfather cooked too, so I always watched them and asked questions. I was always interested in it. And that's kind of how I got into cooking. That's how I can cook some of the things my grandmother used to cook. I'm one of the few people that can cook it because I paid attention. I was there, picking the silk out of corn, cleaning the corn, watching her chop up gizzards to make rice dressing and all that stuff. So it was great.
My great grandfather actually made a seasoning. I'm not gonna say what it is right now because I'm saving that story for another time in a book that I'm releasing. But he actually made it not even really to use. He made it to give to the grocery stores to sell. And in turn, what they would do is they would not pay him for it. They would give him groceries to bring home and feed the family with. So he would make this product, this seasoning product, give it to him. The grocery stores would sell it. They would make their money, and they would just give him groceries to take home and for the family, basically pop, milk, or that bread, whatever they needed.
Wow.
So the apple didn't fall
awesome.
too far from the tree. If I'm doing almost the same thing, obviously.
That's such a common thing when you talk to all our old people. Like I talked to my mama, and she tell me about back in the day when it was a barter system. Like neighbors were so much closer. If somebody kill a hog, everybody was eating, and then it just was everybody just traded. Nobody went without on in that street, and it's like, man, I would love to just get back to that sometimes.
It's true.
Right.
That's why
it
I
was
cook too much food. I like to just hand it off to somebody down the road instead of throwing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mom's mom was known for cooking for the whole street too. I mean, our family that's kind of what we did. So when they cooked, everybody was over. Everybody, neighbors, family, cousins, whatever.
That's the good old days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Big parties, big family gatherings were definitely a big thing back then. When we were young, I grew up, we always had big family gatherings, on the weekends. My grandfather was crawfisher, so he always go crawfishing and bring food. That was just no big deal. That's just how it was.
I don't know. If somebody asked me that question later on in life, I don't know what I'm gonna say because I don't know what got me into cooking. I don't know. I was just when I was young, I was just big and hungry. I was in the pots and noodles trying to eat. My sister telling me to get out the kitchen.
Well, look, to love cooking, you gotta like to eat too.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
that's the first step. Number one. You got to know what stuff tastes like, and you got to know what good food tastes like to cook good food. If you haven't tasted good food, you will not be able to cook good food. It's just not going to happen.
That's what it was. I got older, and I needed to have that stuff I was eating when I was younger, so I learned. Right. Exactly. Necessity.
That's what my mom would tell me. It's like, Mom, you never taught me how to cook. And she said, you know what it should taste like. Done. That's the thing. She's like, you know what the food should taste like, so get to work and figure it out.
And that's one of the hardest things with me trying to make a recipe for somebody. They want to know the measurements. I know what food's supposed to taste like. I just do it, and But when you're working on a cookbook, so I'm gonna get the measurements, but it's a little different,
Well, when you do something like gumbo, something like complex like gumbo, sometimes it's not always the same. Sometimes you have to adjust on the fly. So we always make our gumbo and then we just fix it until it tastes right. It's not like, I add like 2 tablespoons of seasoning or anything like that. It's like, well, I'll taste it, and when I taste it, I'll know what to put into to fix it.
Right. And even if someone tells you, like Brandon D's mom, she don't like to give you everything. She don't give you
Oh, I know.
She gets her little secrets.
But you know what? But every year I get closer. I'm almost there. It's taken me almost 43 years, but every year I just get a little bit closer.
Absolutely. So I'm going to circle back to the seasoning because I just find your seasoning, I'm just really blown away by everything that you've done. And when did you sit there and say, I'm going to start making my own seasoning? What made that? What triggered that?
2 or 3 whole years before I actually started making my seasoning, I was contemplating on making a seasoning for a little cafe that I ran. Because when you run a cafe and you got employees underneath you, you know how that goes. You have measurements. You got to make sure everything's to the T. It's a business, public business. I never did. Then I started doing some of the cooking videos, very, very small cooking videos, and I actually had a surgery. I was stuck at home. I was bored, and that's what made me do it. Stuck at home, bored, thinking about what I could do. I'm ready to go to work. I got to get out of this house. I'm gonna make a season, and I'm gonna make cooking videos, and that's where it took off from there.
Wow.
I mean, if I'm going to do these cooking videos, then it doesn't. What better way? Well, I mean, why not make my own
Exactly.
seasoning?
Right, right.
And then I find out after that I had it in me because my great grandfather did the same thing,
Wow.
basically, just in another
awesome.
kind of sort of way.
Oh,
So yeah, talking about your seasoning, what's the flavor profiles that you like to highlight? Because I know it's just your two-step is the spicy one, right?
Yeah, I have a Cajun spicy 2-step.
Yeah, the spicy two-step, which I really like. I really like spicy seasoning. That's my thing. I really like a good heat. That's one of my favorite things to have. So
and it's a low sodium. It's 120 milligrams sodium in that one.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so and that's a great thing too because you can add. You can add the seasoning, add some spice and some flavor, and we're not worried about drowning things in salt. So that's always a big plus for seasoning.
If you use one of my Cajun seasonings and my Creole, one of these and this in the pot, that's all you need. You don't need to add anything extra. They're all low sodium, no MSG, and you got all the flavor you need because this Creole Zydeco seasoning is full of flavor. It's got spices. It's got every spice that you pretty much need in a pot: oregano, thyme, basil, plus all your red, your black, your salt, everything.
Yeah, I love the herbal punch of your Creole seasoning. I think that's really good, and I think a lot of people lose that. They don't add those herbal notes to their food, and I think you're really missing out on that because I really like that herbal note. That's one of my favorite things about your Creole seasoning is that herbal note, and then you add the spicy, and you get the nice spicy kick from that. That's just fantastic.
All the flavor you need right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing all of that flavor.
Yeah.
I tend to reach for that Zydeco a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
That's probably what was my favorite, but then I gotta mix it with one of these. So I used to say this was two of my favorite, but now I've been leaning back to these two. Then I add more. When I do this, sometimes I tend to put too much. It just depends on what I'm cooking, honestly.
Yeah, right. For seafood dishes, I like a little bit more of that herbal flavor for seafood dishes. I think that gives it a nice flavor.
Yeah, when I do a lot of seafood dishes, I go with one of my Cajun seasonings and my seafood ball seasoning, which I didn't bring right here. That's that one.
That's a good trick too. I want to, especially when I make like a crawfish etouffee or something. I add a little bit of like a seafood ball seasoning to it.
I do a little bit of my seafood ball seasoning and a little bit of liquid seafood ball, especially on a seafood gumbo. I haven't tried that. Yeah, I'm telling you, it changes the game. A crawfish fettuccine, right here, I'll show you. Seasoning, liquor ball, not a lot, and you're good to go. Add it with one of those.
Nice.
Give you the flavor you need.
To try that.
I tend to do that when I soak my beans. I like to soak my beans overnight, and I'll throw some of that in there.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yes, indeed.
I like that. I didn't know that.
So what were some obstacles that you had when you started doing your seasonings? Like, were some things like way too pricey, like price point, like certain ingredients, or what kind of things did you have trouble with when designing them?
Well, here's the thing about me. If I'm gonna do something, if I'm gonna do some kind of job or things like this, I normally sit down and pinpoint everything out from day one till the 6 months down the line before I even decide to do something, to make sure it's worth my while, affordable, everything. I didn't do that with this seasoning line. I knew what I wanted. I started making recipes in my kitchen. I did not question a thing on price. I brought all my recipes to my guy that mixes it, my co-packer, and I started with these 4 seasonings right here. These are my first 4 I did all at one time. Bam, my Cajun, Creole, and my Mexican, and I went with it. And then after that, I started doing other things, dips, and I just kept continuing on. I don't think I ran into any obstacles besides that my brain don't stop thinking, and my brain keeps thinking, and I keep making products. I'm at 21 products right now. And I have a lot more in the making, and that's the only obstacle I'm running into. I can't stop my brain from thinking, so I lose sleep at night. I keep wanting to make more, and I know at some point I'm gonna have to stop. But right now, it's just God. It's God given. God's just telling me to go.
Listen.
No. Yeah, no, that's great. The creativity aspect of it is great. That's fantastic.
And y'all know that I have a full-time job because y'all know that y'all
Yes.
you already came into our store.
Yeah, right.
So if I didn't have a full-time job, this would be very dangerous for me.
Man.
This would be extremely dangerous for me. Just to let y'all know.
Yeah, it's really awesome that you with your seasonings that you did what you wanted, your vision, your seasoning, because a lot of people would be, they take a seasoning like that that's lower sodium that is going to be more expensive to make. It is. It's just a fact. Salt is cheap and heavy. And so if you add more salt, you can cheapen up your seasoning just by adding bulk and weight.
Or
And yeah. So
and I was told by a couple of people that knew what I was doing. I didn't really tell many people, but the few people I did tell, I was told it's going to be expensive. You're not putting salt. You're not putting a lot of salt. You're not putting MSG. That's a filler. You need to put that to make it cheaper. The people's not going to buy it. I didn't listen to none of that because I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I followed my heart and my mind, what God was telling me to do. And if I didn't get worried or nervous about it, like I didn't, I knew that it was the right thing to do because that was God telling me you need to go and do it, and I did it. And, none of my products have MSG. That's a big thing.
Oh
yeah, it's definitely a thing. People try to avoid that. But I'm really happy that you did your vision for it, that you didn't let other people come in. Because a lot of times, like my job, I'm an engineer, I do design work, and it's like a lot of things is like done by committee. Like, oh, designed by committee, this by committee, and for you, it's your product, your name's on it, it's your vision. I think that's really important to stick to your guns on something creative like this, where you want to put forward your product that you want it to taste this certain way. You want this in it, you don't want that in it, and really to control that, not be convinced by other people. Hey, you need to add more salt. Like, that's not really going to add anything. Is it going to be more expensive? Sure. It's more. Then let it be more expensive. But when people buy it, they're tasting what you want them to taste, and that it's a product that you want, and everything about it is what you want. And that's really important. And it's not something, you will say, hey, I want to make lower salt seasoning for people. I don't want people to be bombarded with too much salt just to cheapen it up so I can make more money. If you sell less, you sell less. But hey, but it's what you want to sell.
You have a premium product, so that you should be proud of that.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
it. One thing that I really love about your bottles is you can actually see the seasoning. It's not
see the seasoning.
That's another thing that you say bottles. These bottles cost more.
Yep.
That's right.
They do.
That's right.
And I was warned about that too. And I said, I don't care. I want my customers to see that I didn't put the same product across all these bottles. You can see the difference in them. You can see the colors. You can actually see the ingredients. And you know that when you look at that. I have a Mexican season. You can see all that in there. Same thing with the Creole. The Creole shows all those spices out in there. It pops out. You know
that.
You can see the herbs.
It's important.
You can see it all.
It's as a cook. It's important for me to see what I'm buying. Like, I want to see the product. And we also told that to Shane Gaspard. Keep your product in these bottles because people want to see what they're buying.
And for people who haven't tasted Hal seasoning, I would consider this a premium product. I would consider this is not an average product by any stretch. This is very, you can tell, when you taste this, you can taste the quality of the ingredients. You can taste that, it's lower salt. It's a premium product. It is worth the money. It is worth the money to buy these things. Your food will be better. The less salt, that way you can, because you really want to control the salt. Once you have enough salt to make the flavors pop, you really don't need any more. You just add it. It's not going to add anything to your food.
Y'all can't imagine how many people contact me to private label my seasonings with their labels for cafes, restaurants, just people off the street.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nope.
My product, my brand.
Yeah. And you should be very proud of it because it's an excellent product.
Thank you.
Highly recommend.
So what other products besides like your seasoning blends that you carry? So you said you have how many products?
21 right now. And not counting like the duplicates. Like I have this seafood bowl in a bag and in a bigger container and then a gallon. I'm not counting it like that. I'm just counting as this has been a highly addictive product, my liquid garlic butter.
I have that. Excellent.
I have a seafood ball butter. and I'm currently working on my honey butter to be released.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
I just told the whole world this, and that's okay because it's in the making right now. So
nice,
Yeah.
nice, excellent.
That you talking my language, not
What?
some honey butter?
Yeah, I like it.
The dip is for everything, not just
yeah.
seafood. It's for everything. Salad dressings, anything you want to dip it in, just put it straight in your mouth. I don't care. It's for everything.
You know what?
You should put that on about straighten your mouth.
There you go.
You know, we have some of that dip, and we have used it on quite a few different things. There you go.
I was stirring my cup. I was really stirring my glass.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go.
One of my other award-winning bags right here, Cajun spaghetti mix. What makes it Cajun? Everybody wants to know because I made it. That's why.
Simply
That's right.
stated.
That's what.
I mean, and then, let me see if I can sneak right here and grab my chili. Same thing, Cajun chili mix, award-winning. Listen, I'm making things easy for people, and I have a bunch of bags like this of dips, like to make you mix the sour cream and mayo. I have all kinds of stuff for y'all. Cracker mixes. I mean, everything.
Wow.
I did
That's
hear
awesome.
a little something that Rusty Noel is going to be using your spaghetti seasoning to make his spaghetti for the cook-off this weekend.
I did hear him say that at the thing Saturday. Yeah,
that dude is crazy, man.
Nice.
Man,
wow.
I would have entered it, but I can't because I have another event. But I was supposed to enter a spaghetti cook-off the other day, and I wanted to, but I couldn't. I want to enter one too because I would like to enter my own, cook-off, my spaghetti with my spaghetti cook-off of my own spaghetti mix, and I just haven't had a chance to yet. But I had already won an award somewhere else, another place. The chili done won 2 or 3 awards that people use that I know of.
Awesome.
There we go. You think about putting your own contest on at some point in time?
It's a possibility, but I'm going to be honest. I don't have time to mess with none of that.
Yeah.
I have too many flames in the fire right now. Too many flames in the fire. It's
I hear that.
too many.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a volunteer firefighter, and I'm about to put my own fire out. So I can have a break. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just about to do it myself because I'm gonna have to have a little physical and mental break.
Yeah, I mean, it's building a brand is not. This is very, very difficult work. I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of leg work, a lot of getting products out there. It's not easy, but it's worth it. That's not supposed to be easy.
But that's right. Nobody ever said it would be easy, but it will always be worth it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And God never gave us nothing we can't handle. I know that for a fact.
That's right.
I handled a lot of stuff growing up. So
we're here talking tonight.
I'm going to continue to handle it. That's right.
Yeah. All right.
I think about that a lot. I always say that.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
So,
God's not giving it to you if he don't want you to get over that obstacle and pass it.
If he puts it on your heart, it's for you to do. So,
that's right.
Okay. So, I have a question for you, Hal. What is your
come on. Get my paddle.
What is your favorite Cajun dish to cook?
Rice and gravy.
There we go.
Rice and gravy.
Right.
That's what I grew up on.
Same here.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's down south in South Louisiana. Rice and gravy is just a staple. I mean, the thing is, it's great because it's just it's poverty food, guys. It's not it's cheaper cuts of meat. It's not the premium cuts, but it's cooked in a way where you're absolutely maximizing the flavor of what you have to make the best dish possible. And I think that's what Cajun cooking is all about. Cajun Creole cooking is taking simple ingredients and just making them as flavorful as possible, making the best of what you have and making the best food that you could possibly have with what you have. And it works. And
you're right. And you said like about the cuts of meat, the cheap, expensive, whatever.
Yeah.
I can get a $2 pack of liver and make a killer ass rice and gravy. Liver onion gravy over rice. I mean, $2 for the pack. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you cook it and the seasonings you add in it.
Well, I tell you what, Hal, if you could get me to like liver, you'd be definitely winning some awards. Let me tell you.
What if I cooked liver and pork in the gravy for you? You might like it.
Well, I would be willing to try it. That's for sure.
I'd eat it.
You'd eat it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. With the pork? For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
I might get two of them plates.
One thing I gotta note though, oxtails are no longer considered lower cut because the price of oxtails, I saw oxtails as like $10.99 a pound. I was like, ooh man, oxtails have become like that's rich people food now. Man.
You're right. I bought an oxtail this long and had the butcher cut it up, and I left out of there with $20. And I thought to myself, man, I thought this was a cheap cut. And there's hardly no meat on the bone, just to let y'all know.
No. It used to be. It used to be a cheap cut. It got trendy. Right.
Oxtails are just about flavor. They just give really great flavor to gravies and stews and soups. They give a really good flavor. I'm just waiting for people to figure out beef cheeks, but I think the trimming part of that is so rough that a lot of people can't get past it. I mean, it's just
that's a really good thing about having premium products like Hal's stuff in the house. Like just keeping it on deck, because I do that all the time. Is I just go to the store when I'm tired of trying to figure out what to cook for the week. I'll go to the store, figure out what's on sale, what meat is on sale, whatever's on sale. Guess what? That's going in the gravy.
Yep, exactly.
So throw some seasoning on it. Stick that to the bottom of the pot and make you a gravy. It's just a really easy thing to go to, especially if you got good products on hand.
That's the great part about the seasoning. You look at like the Zydeco and the two-step. You say, hey, look, I want something with a lot of flavor, and I don't have to, break out. Because searching through my spice cabinet is it takes effort. Like I gotta find the thyme, the oregano, the basil. Searching that cabinet sometimes is a little daunting. And I say, look, there's Hal's seasoning. I said, hey, that's perfect. That's got everything I want in it. I don't have to go search for it. Hey, where's my basil this time? Where's my oregano? Where's all this stuff? That stuff is
all in one.
I have so many seasonings sometimes it's daunting. It's just like how many seasonings do I really have to have? I mean, I have
a lot.
A cabinet full of seasonings. It's a real problem.
We have an extra pantry just for mostly seasoning. It's ridiculous.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got that same problem.
It's all got got a purpose.
So yes.
I got that problem too, because I do support my local Louisiana friends that have seasonings as well. So, so don't be fooled. My seasoning cabinet is absolutely not even all my products in there. I got other people. I got Rusty's. I got Miss Pat in the Pot. I got I got Shane's. I can go on. I got Brits. I got everybody's stuff in there.
I need to pick up Pat in the Pots and Brits. I haven't picked those up yet. Those are two. That's two I need to pick up because I like everybody's twist on things. Everybody does things a little bit different. Nobody has to cook the same. This whole thing in Louisiana, we're so proud. And sometimes it's just like, oh man, it's like we take it a little bit too far. They call it the narcissism of small differences. Like we make the big deal out of somebody that does things just a little bit different than us, and it's not even that big of a deal.
I know where the next question is gonna go, but I wanna butt in and make my own question for y'all. I'm gonna stir the pot.
Do it.
Go for
Stir that thing.
You ever wonder where these names come from?
No. Yeah.
I'm a retired DJ and I love music. So did anybody ever catch the drift that these is like related to our Cajun culture?
Right.
Cajun and Creole culture right here. Cajun waltz.
Yes.
The waltz.
Cajun spicy two-step, another dance. Creole Zydeco, another dance. Try to keep it. And did y'all ever see the color coordination we got going on?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, kitchen.
I mean,
all kind of stuff.
I mean, our team didn't do good this weekend, but here's some colors for y'all. And one of my favorite,
black and gold.
My first favorite holiday of the year is Christmas. My second favorite holiday of the year is Mardi Gras.
Girl,
love it.
See the color?
Yep.
Okay.
Man, look at that attention to detail. I didn't even catch that. But that's so smart. That's marketing right there. Because your eye go to that.
Also, we from close to Lafayette, and we got
Right.
UL in the house. All my seafood ball products stuck at this color.
Oh,
But anyhow,
Nice. That's awesome.
not all of them are coated like that. But this is my
Yeah.
we learned all the
That's
secrets
right.
tonight.
now.
So,
good.
what's a non-traditional dish that you like to make? Like non-traditionally Cajun dish that you like to make?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I do know because non-traditional Cajun. Okay, so my stepmom is Mexican, and I have 3 Mexican brothers. And if y'all wonder why I made this Mexican seasoning, that's why. Because they taught me how to cook Mexican food. So that would be my non-traditional Cajun dishes that I like to cook.
That's awesome.
Is Mexican food.
So what's your favorite Mexican dish to cook?
Well, I like to cook me some Spanish rice and fajitas, quesadillas.
Nice.
I'm fixing to do menudo that you're probably all gonna freak out over. It's gonna be one of my favorites, I'm sure. Birria tacos.
No, awesome. Yeah, I love birria tacos.
All that stuff. So
I've had menudo before. Look, if just don't think about too hard what's in it. But I tell you, that broth is killer, man. That's that is so good. The broth that they make for menudo is fantastic.
And y'all ever ate caldo?
I haven't had caldo.
Caldo. I'm gonna make that soon. So that would be my non-traditional. I don't know what other non-traditional dish that I would cook that's not Cajun because everything that I cook, I'm pretty sure is Cajun or Creole.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
delicious.
Oh yeah,
that's cool though. Like I think Mexican food is a good thing for a Cajun cook to kind of dive into if you haven't cooked anything else, because a lot of the process, a lot of the processes are kind of the same. It takes a long time. It's not, you're kind of doing the seasoning is different, but it's very process oriented. You have to cook it a long time. Nothing's going to be done super quick. So if it's kind of like a little bit of a pain in the butt, but the product is worth the effort. And I think that's the same thing.
Especially a Mexican breakfast.
Yeah. Mexicans make the best breakfast, man.
So yes, Barbecue Brand comes to Houston for Houston Rodeo every year because Brandon D is on a rodeo barbecue team. And I took Barbecue Brand to a little place called Tacos Donna Lena. That's not far from our house. And when I tell you, they have the best birria tacos. They do the best Mexican breakfast, hands down. Look, Barbecue Brand didn't know. He was like in a euphoric state eating that breakfast.
Yeah.
Look, he's licking his lips right now.
Yeah. I do that.
Yes, I get it, man.
I told you, Hal, I'm hungry. I'm
hungry too.
I don't play. I don't play.
Yeah. No, I love Mexican breakfast. They do. It's everything is like everything is so like everything on Mexican food is just so carefully crafted. They put effort into everything, and it's the same thing with like Cajun food. Like we put effort into the small details. Everything that they make is going to have effort, and nothing's half-assed. If they make salsa, that salsa is going to be good. It's not going to be half-assed.
Guacamole too.
Guacamole is not going to be half. They're making rice. Look, that's not going to be half. Nothing is like a throwaway dish. The sides are all done well. Everything's going to be done well. There's nothing they're just going to say, hey, we're just going to throw some canned corn in a pot and cook that. That's not going to happen.
Listen, I'll give you a perfect example of the food. My little nephew, 6-year-old nephew's half Cajun, half Mexican. He ate my Spanish rice. He's picky as hell with all food. He ate my Spanish rice and never ate rice before. Does not eat rice and gravy. Liked it. Went to Texas, meet my family. Came back over here and called me up and says, hey, Tonti, can you cook me some more Spanish rice? I had to cook this kid a whole pot of rice and vacuum seal it for a reason.
That's the biggest compliment you could ever get as a Cajun cook.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you cook with love, it shows.
So you get a lot of people in your mentions commenting on the things that you put in your Cajun dishes. Because I hear in your videos a lot of times you say, I'm going to use this product and I know y'all going to come for me for this.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show the product?
We gotta talk about this. We gotta. This
Can
is
I
a big
show?
deal.
You want me to show the product? I can show it to you. I can just
I
go grab
think
it
I
real
know
quick
what
if
it
you need
is.
me to show.
Go get it.
Go ahead.
Let me
Let's
grab
get
it.
it.
So back to basics. You might not like it, but I like it.
Oh,
There we go.
I can make my own.
There
I
we
can
go.
sit here and make my own and stir the pot, and I do it from time to time. But I'm a busy working woman, people, and I got to eat. I'm like barbecue brand. I'm hungry. The same way I'm gonna make it is how these people made it. So yes, I do get a lot of people coming in my comment section and telling me that I don't know how to make a gumbo. I drop my onions in raw. I drop my meat in raw. Listen, the way I learned to make gumbo is how I make it. We start different from everybody. Everybody makes gumbo different. We don't start the process of browning our meat and browning our onions. That's just not how we do it.
Right,
I'm not saying how anybody else does it is wrong. That's how they learn to do it. Hey, that's great. You know.
That's right.
Yeah, you have to. Everything you have to do, you learn how to do it, and you make it your own. And like we have said this on the podcast before, there is absolutely nothing wrong with jarred roux. It is just flour and oil that's been cooked very well, and I have never come across the burned jarred roux in my life. So say that, and it's a good product. You could probably make the same thing at home, but if you don't want to spend the time and you're short on time and you need to pick up some jarred roux, if you want to make your own, great. If you want to use the jarred roux, fine. It's not that different. What is different is how long you cook it. If you don't cook it long enough, it doesn't matter what roux you use, homemade or jarred, it's going to be wrong. So just cook your roux long enough and you'll be better off for it. Please cook that stuff. Please, people. You can't. It's not going to cook in 20 minutes. I hate to tell you this, but like gumbo is not going to be done in 20 minutes. It's going to take some time. I've shown y'all a trick how to use jarred roux with a strainer, how to break it up so it doesn't stick to the bottom and burn. Check out that video.
And there's so many tricks, but traditionally I'm just going to do it the same way I always did it because I like to stay in the pot. The water's hot, boiling, just drop it in. You can put it in the microwave if you want to help melt. You can do all kind of things.
Yeah.
Still going to make sure it don't stick at the bottom. You know, I almost released the product to help everybody understand it was okay to use jarred roux. I almost made my own jarred roux and released the product. I made it, but now you can buy it. You know?
Yeah, I came up the strainer method that I use a strainer to break up the roux in the hot water. That came that really came in useful when I was using basically like a crawfish boiler at rodeo to cook gumbo. And which is the most undelicate heat source you could possibly imagine.
Yes.
I mean, it's just everything. If it falls to the bottom, it's burning. So I said, hey, look, I might have a problem with this. So I got to come up with something that kind of fixes this issue.
We actually have a strainer that hangs on the side of the pot. Goes in.
Right, exactly.
You drop all your roux in and you just let it sit there and just dissolves out, I know
exactly.
If I make gumbo in bulk, I would be doing the same thing.
We need to come pick
really,
this up.
Yeah, it's really when you're making a big pot of gumbo. It's and you're using a high output burner. It's really, really dangerous. That stuff will stick to the bottom and burn just like that. Yeah, so you got to be very careful.
Unless you got a designated person to stir the pot.
Stir it. That's right.
I am picking one of those up for rodeo because what? That sounds great.
It's going to save a lot of time and not as much grief.
So let's talk about another one of my favorite ones that people like to crap on. Cream of mushroom soup in crawfish etouffee.
Aren't you one of the persons that like to crap on that too? Didn't you get
I
mad
don't.
about that or no?
I don't get mad about it.
No, who was that? Who was that?
I heard you complain about that.
No. That was either Shane or Rusty. I can't remember.
Yeah, one of them.
It wasn't me. I'm telling.
It was Rusty.
Might have been
Me
Shane.
and Rusty already discussed this, but let me tell you what. If I call Rusty over right now, and I should get him on the phone right now, in this live, if I get him on the phone, put him on speakerphone, and say, "Hey, Rusty, I'm cooking a crawfish etouffee, and I got your plate fixed and ready. That boy's coming eat ya." And he gonna like
Sure
it.
will.
And he gonna like it.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. But I think that goes to the back to like the question. It's like, is the ingredient authentic? Probably not. But does the flavor profile
Absolutely.
fit? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with the flavor profile of cream and mushroom soup in crawfish etouffee. It doesn't. The
But-
soup is not going to offend the flavor of crawfish etouffee. It's not like you're adding like curry powder to it or something like that, making it something totally different. The flavor fits. It's quick. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. And I seriously doubt if most people
Right.
can actually even taste the difference.
But authentic as to how you know who said it's gonna be authentic, because
Right.
I would literally watch my grandparents do
too.
it like that. Okay,
What's
is it?
authentic in this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember my great grandparents how they made it. I don't know that, but I do have some recipes that I need to look at to see. But
what I think what I understood is the original crawfish etouffee recipe is basically it's
flour,
a butter.
flour
it's
and butter.
Yeah, it's a roux, or there's some people that do a cold butter immersion sauce. So basically, what they do is they cook all their onions and crawfish together with a little bit of liquid, and what they do is they cut the heat off, and then you put in chunks of cold cube butter in there and mix it around, and that emulsifies everything, and you make like a cold butter immersion sauce. That's another way of doing it. So, but that kind of developed at the same time as the one with the roux in it. So what's authentic and not?
That's why I was
personally, I don't even know
what's authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you what's
It's
authentic.
true.
Whatever I ate when I was a kid, and I'm obviously eating the same thing now. If it's good, I'm eating it.
That's right.
Right.
I don't care if they. I'm gonna be honest again too. I know people that buy rotisserie chicken and put that in their gumbo. I've eaten it already like that. It's not my favorite, but it was good enough for me to eat a bowl of gumbo. But I never dogged the people for doing that, because if that's how they want to make it, that's how they want to make it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's not the way I grew up eating it, but and I'm not gonna make it like that, child. I can't make it like that, but
look.
But if it was all I had, I would.
Right. That's the thing. Yeah.
Because I will make food with what I have left, even if I know it ain't the correct way to make it. If it's what I have, I'm gonna use it, not to waste or to make a meal.
Yeah, be happy somebody cares enough about you to cook gumbo for you.
So
you know what? Because I actually enjoy other people's gumbo more than my own, because I don't have to sit over a pot and smell that for 4 hours. So when I have gumbo, I don't have to. I was like, oh man, I get to eat gumbo and I didn't even have to cook. This is fantastic. So I appreciate it when people make gumbo for me.
We talked about authenticity on this podcast plenty of times on access. What you have is what you have, and you make the best thing. Now there are certain guidelines that you should follow, but there are no rules.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I was looking at some of those KCP, all them little cookbooks you have behind you, that whole bookshelf full of cookbooks. We were looking through there for authentic recipes, and you should see some of the stuff from back in the 50s and 60s on how they were making things. Y'all would lose your mind, all of y'all high, proud people talking about
it's true.
Your way is the best way and nobody else. There you go.
No, Brandon, look. I sent y'all that link on Facebook where they had a gumbo recipe from 1878 that had allspice and cloves in it.
We way too proud. Way too proud.
Anybody use allspice in their gumbo over here? I sure don't. I'm like, man, that is weird. But back then, that's the herbs and spices they had access to. Allspice and cloves. They had access to that. So guess what? They were using it.
I use allspice and cloves in my birria.
Oh, I can see.
Yeah, right.
That's where I use that.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like gumbo with allspice and cloves. I was like, that is fascinating, man. But food changes over time. The access to what you have, I mean, let me tell you something. If you were to tell people back in like the early 1900s, I'm going to go to the store and pick up a pack of just chicken thighs. Nothing else, just chicken thighs. They would think you're insane. It's like, wait, you can just go buy chicken thighs. In fact, our friend from Bolivia thought that was the craziest thing ever. Because when you go buy chicken, you go buy whole chickens. But in America, you can buy chicken breast, chicken thighs, chicken legs, chicken wings. You can get this whole thing split up into whatever you want and buy just that. That did not exist back in the day. And it doesn't exist really in other countries. That's a strictly American thing.
I'm going to tell you right now, the only time you ever going to see me buying a whole chicken is if I'm putting that whole chicken in the oven or in a fryer. If
Right?
I don't make
Precisely.
a combo, I ain't buying a whole chicken. I'm buying that cut up already.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
We got it. We got access. You know, I can make me a gumbo with just the you know with 10 chicken thighs or 10. How many chickens you kill to make this gumbo, Bob?
Hey, I tell y'all the thing that I think was the most death involved in everything I ever cooked was fried duck tongues. I don't know how many ducks had to die to make that appetizer, but quite a lot of ducks. It was a lot of ducks. I was like, man, I think that's like 75, 80 ducks right there. That's pretty bad.
I'm glad you reminded me. I have 2 cow tongues in my freezer right now. I need to cook.
Oh, nice. Nice. Hey, look, you know, that's one thing that people say is weird, but it's actually delicious.
I love me some lengua.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Been living in Houston for a long time. I'm learning all the tricks over here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you just have to think about it. We live in a different world where we have access to more ingredients. And the thing that makes your food, like, you can use different ingredients in Cajun food. You could change up the peppers. You could use poblanos instead of bell pepper. You could use shallots with onions and all these different things. As long as you're keeping true to the flavor profile and you're not altering that too much, you can actually use different ingredients. They're not going to, as long as you're not changing the flavor profile too much, you're keeping the flavor profile authentic. These different ingredients can actually help you kind of boost your flavor profiles up by just changing it up a little bit.
Absolutely. All right. So I have to address something. I want Hal and I to talk about how we figured out we knew each other.
From a long time ago at school, elementary school.
A long time ago. What, I don't even know what year that was. I was at O&P at what, like 94, 95?
93 to 94, 94 to 95, probably a few 2 years.
93 to 94 and a half is the year I got my name, Hal. That's when my brother was born.
Nice.
So that's probably why you didn't remember me at that point, but now you know, you remember my face, remember me, but yes, we did attend elementary school together. Our O&P, our mother of peace.
And what was the nickname that we had for it? Was it our military prison?
So, yes, I remember.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
But now, if you ever pass in front of it lately, it really looks like that because it's really gated well, which is great because today you need it like that. Back then we didn't need it like that.
It looks different.
But yeah, it's great.
We passed in front of it.
It's very nice.
We passed in front of it. I think around Christmas time last year, and I was like, wow, it looks a lot different than it did back in the day. So I have a particular memory that I want to see if you remember this happening in school. Do you remember when we put on a Christmas play?
Oh, we did do on the cafeteria. On the stage was in the back to the right. I do remember those things.
I was in the play.
Well, I was in plays too, so I'm sure that we were in there probably around the together.
It was two like.
I'm older than you though.
No, I'm in July and you in December, 81, right? Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 different stories. One was they did like the Christmas poem, and the night before Christmas, they turned it into a play and like chopped it up into different parts. And then the second play was Santa and the Efficiency Elf.
I remember the plays.
It was really fun.
That's funny.
Lord.
Yep. I think that was
crazy.
like my favorite memory of O&P was doing the plays.
I remember the plays there, and I remember all the plays at school in the church too, because we always did like with the angels and all that, and for the manger, and which I think was some of my most fond memories because I absolutely loved that, and I think I cried every year I was a very sentimental kid. Probably still am, but
those were the fun times for sure. And my brother is a few years younger. He's 3 years younger than me, and I can remember when we go in for class mass on Fridays. He fell asleep in the pew and he was snoring. And remember Father Rex? He
Yes.
interrupted mass to go wake my brother up, and I was sauce haunt.
Saucy. Oh, yeah. That ain't my
Oh,
brother
no.
today. That ain't
I
my
was
brother
so
today.
embarrassed. Like, in front of my little crush, I was so embarrassed. But yeah,
That's hilarious.
good
Lord.
times. But yeah, that was finding that out was really cool. That you and I went to school together. That was definitely a blast from the past. Very small world. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
guys,
is.
you have any other questions for Hal tonight?
I have to ask my favorite question is a popular Cajun dish that you don't care for, that you just don't like. Everybody's got one.
I used to not like stew because I guess I got tired of it. I was worn out of it. Now all I want to do is eat stew. So I can't tell you stew. I could not stand stew. Like, I was just so over it. Maybe because they made that so much. And now I seriously want to do a meatball stew one night, a chicken stew another night. I don't even like that. A pork stew another night. I want stew. So let me see. Another good dish that I don't like. Believe it or not, and this could be going on the Cajun and Creole side, but fish courtbouillon is not my favorite. And I'm not really sure if it's because I've eaten it several times and choked on the bones, and I'm scared to death to eat it again.
That could be it.
If it's in a red gravy, it sits on my chest, and if it's in a white gravy, it's 9 times out of 10 I don't like the fish in it. So I know I'm sure it's close enough to being, a traditional Cajun dish, but fish in the gravy is not gonna be my favorite. But I will eat it. I will eat it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their thing. Mine is couscous. Don't like it.
That's
Never
my
have.
absolute favorite.
See, I was like, but I haven't.
For breakfast, for a snack, for lunch, for supper.
But I haven't tried it in years, so I probably, the last time I tried it, I was young. I was probably just a little picky kid, but I probably would like it nowadays. So I need to try it again.
And I'm actually fixing to make another pot of that because I need to freshen up my video because that's one of my most highly requested videos right now. That and rice dressing and my crawfish etouffee and my gumbo, even though they told me on my gumbo, y'all. They still want me to make it.
You are brave putting a gumbo recipe out there, man. You're brave to do that because everybody and their cousin is coming after you saying, "No, that's not how we do it. You did it wrong." This. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
And I do so many different gumbos, and I'm fixing to release a lot of videos with different gumbos. The chicken and sausage, the basic gumbo. Then you want to get technical. People ask me, "Well, where's your okra? Where's your shrimp?" I told y'all I was making chicken and sausage. My next video is gonna be my shrimp and okra gumbo, and I'm probably gonna add some smoked sausage in it. My next video is gonna be my seafood gumbo because you asked me where's the seafood. That's gonna be all the seafood in one pot. You want to do another gumbo? I mean, I can get technical. We can go all the way out. I did a red bean gumbo, and I'm fixing to do another one. And that was way to the extreme. I was scared. I wouldn't like it. I didn't want to waste my chicken. I didn't want to waste my sausage. And I didn't want to waste my little old cheap red beans.
Yeah.
I wish I would have put everything, triple the amount of what I did because it was freaking amazing.
That's on our list.
Awesome. I've heard red bean gumbo is fantastic.
I know.
I'm fixing to make another one. Y'all can follow my recipe because this one's going to be on point even more.
And I
definitely will.
I think that's what people are confused about, like, who don't cook gumbo, is like, we don't make one gumbo. Like what you talk about shrimp and okra. We did a shrimp and okra sausage gumbo probably 3 weeks ago?
I could eat that once a week. That particular gumbo.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite gumbos is just shrimp, sausage, and okra. That is such a great gumbo. So simple and good.
I want to tell you the next gumbo I want to make, but I don't want to tell you until I make the video because this one's going to be... I'm not telling y'all right now, but what I'm going to tell y'all and warn all of y'all is if y'all clowned and dogged my regular old chicken and sausage gumbo, y'all get ready for this one. I'm fixing to throw at y'all. because y'all ain't gonna be waiting for it, and I promise you, it's out the park.
on
But
can't wait to
it's
see it.
freaking good, so y'all wait for that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for that one.
I
'Cause-
can
Yeah,
assure you they're gonna dog me from one end to another, but I promise you, everybody would come try it. They would be like, "Wow."
It was like, what's the one with the we make beef and okra gumbo. It's something that one of our friends taught us how to make, and then I found out that my mom's family used to raise dairy cow. They had a dairy farm, so when the cow stopped producing milk and they brought it to slaughter, they would make beef and okra gumbo. And my mom said she didn't like beef when she was a kid, so she didn't really eat it. But we made it for people, and it blows everybody away how good that is.
So listen. So my friend's grandpa was sick, and we were making some food for him, and he particularly asked me to make a beef and okra gumbo, and I did. I never did that before. I never heard of that before. I'm not making you that. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, just make it. Here's the food, whatever, make it. So I made it. And this is right before I started doing my videos, but I had videoed a little bit of it for my Snapchat. Yo, this gumbo was actually good. It wasn't my favorite, but it actually was good. And I never made it again since, but I probably would make it for a video just to piss the people off.
we stir
Do
pots.
it, do it.
We stir
do
pots.
it,
We stir pots around
do
here.
it. Make them cry. I love the tears. I love how everybody says it's wrong.
You have to be creative with your food. Food is boring.
Right.
If food is boring, it's gonna get boring if you don't be creative with it. I say this all the time.
If everybody did it the same way, where's the fun in that? Like
that's another
This
thing.
is supposed to be fun. Like y'all taking the fun out of it. Y'all are sucking all the fun out of this with all these rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. Don't do this. This is wrong. You're taking the fun out of it. Just stop. Just let people do what they want. And if it tastes good, it is good. There's no arguing about that.
I say this all the time. You get mad at me because of how I'm making it, but I never told you a word of how you make it. And if I made it exactly how you made it, you. How boring would four of the same dishes be?
Exactly.
Tasting the same?
Exactly.
Exactly.
You got to change it up. You got to be you, and you got to be authentic in your own little simple way.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree.
We made we all got together and made and replicated Dookie Chase's green gumbo from New Orleans.
We did.
That shit was fire
I've
too.
never seen that, but speaking of a green gumbo, y'all have to tell me about that. But somebody asked me to make a broccoli gumbo before, and I did. A broccoli chicken gumbo with dry roux. The roux in the jar that was dry powder roux. I had never used that before, and I don't care for that, but I did. A broccoli and chicken gumbo was not my specialty, but I made the gumbo and they thought it was absolutely wonderful. I don't think it was, but that's just my preference. So is that what you're talking about when you said green gumbo?
No, green gumbo is made with what we use collard greens and kale. I think we use
collard greens.
It ain't much different than the broccoli. Then, you see?
Yeah. So the original Dookie Chase recipe has like collard greens, kale, turnip greens, carrot greens. It's got so many greens to it. It's got romaine lettuce. I'm like, man, that's too much. We're gonna keep it simple.
Yeah.
Spinach. But it's basically like a really rich stock cooked with greens, a little bit of roux, and like a lot of smoked sausage, and it's really good.
No,
smoked meat, smoked turkey.
The person that wanted this broccoli gumbo was a health freak, and broccoli is good for you, chicken's good for you, and just go ahead and use the light powdered roux, and that'll be fine. It'll be healthy.
Hey.
When roux's involved, it ain't that healthy, but okay. And I did it, and it's definitely was not. It's not gonna be the gumbo you're gonna see me making a video on, because I'm never gonna make it again, probably. But unless I feel a need to.
Oh no, I would never put a broccoli gumbo and call it gumbo on there. I think people would lose their minds.
I made it for these people, and they ate it and they liked it, so that's all that matters.
There you go. That's
you
it.
can always use my way of thinking something is healthy. So what is roux? Roux is made from flour. Flour is what is a plant. There you go. Salad. Done.
Done. It's a salad. It's a salad.
It's healthy. See, we can figure this out.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say with gumbo, I think I would get so bored if all I made was chicken and sausage gumbo. I love chicken and sausage gumbo, but if that was all I made, I think I would just get tired of it. I have to have some different gumbo. And we usually alternate. We usually do okra, then we'll do roux, then we'll go back to okra during gumbo season, which starts on the. I say I only make gumbo after the fall equinox. That's just me.
That's
But
true. That's true. Because I'll eat gumbo year round. 160.
yeah. But the thing with gumbo is I get bored if I just did a chicken and sausage gumbo all the time. I love chicken and sausage gumbo, but I like to change it up. I mean, I just like to do different gumbos every now and then.
Well, Hal, do you have any questions for us?
Not really. I'm just thankful y'all have me here, and I definitely appreciate y'all's support.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Yeah, no, we love your products. We love your products. Keep making products. I have not tried your fish fry yet, but I need to try it on some shrimp.
I don't have a fish
because fry. I thought you had a fish fry.
I have a fry batter for everything.
Fry batter for everything.
Yes,
I need to try that on some shrimp. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I do need to try.
Don't pigeonhole her fried batter. That go on all. That go on everything.
Let me know when y'all come on my end.
Brandon, I don't fry chicken. You fry chicken. I'll fry some shrimp. I don't do fried chicken.
That's
just
right.
Not my thing.
That's right. I got you.
Casey, when y'all come on my end again, just give me a warning. Let me know. Send me a text.
We'll do.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I like to say one more thing since everybody's gonna be watching. Not only thank y'all for having me here and for supporting me, I want to thank absolutely everyone that follows me and supports me. Because I couldn't keep continuing to do this without the support of my fans. Because there's one thing that I did learn on this journey. The total strangers that you think have nothing to do with you, don't know you, don't care about you, will definitely prove you wrong, because the total strangers have now become pretty much like family to me and have been my backup from day one. Like, I could not do it without the love and support from all my fans, and I appreciate y'all so very much. I don't care where I go in public, in state, out of state, somebody finds me, freaks out, hugs me, takes a picture with me, and just know that I appreciate all that. Those little things mean the most to me. So shout out to everybody that supports me. Thank y'all so very much. I appreciate the love and support.
Well,
awesome.
Well, we love having you. And at the end of every episode, I like to do a little quote that we talked about, kind of ties everything together. So tonight's quote comes from Curtis Stone.
Yeah, he did that dinner. He used to pick people up in
that's
show
my
with
cousin.
Probably so. All right. Curtis Stone says, the most important ingredient in any dish is love. It transcends the food. It touches the hearts of those you share it with. So with that being said, once again, we want to thank you so much, Hal, for being on the show with us tonight. And we appreciate your support of us as well. So until then, everyone.
I can't wait to come back on another show. I like the third.
Welcome.
That's
yeah.
Anytime.
You're welcome anytime.
Absolutely. Sir, yes, sir.
So finish until up, next time, y'all keep stirring that pot. Peace.
# cook whatever you want to cook, Kuyon.
And how you want to cook it too, Kuyon.
Yes, right.
Hey.